me, and I'm going to the negative. One of the things my facility keeps claiming is that they want the government to regulate the internet. But how is the government going to regulate ISPs, internet service providers? Is that going to be possible, and can it be like realistic? I mean, the question is, how can they, right? I have a statement from John Culberson. He's a U.S. congressman and member of the Appropriations Committee on Commerce, Justice, and Science. He states that Julius Janachowski, chairman of the FCC, argued before the House. He argued that the FCC does in fact have the authority to regulate, right? When asked to show them, I asked him how to show me the statute that the FCC gave the authority. He dodged the question and remarked that the FCC lawyers believe that they can reclassify broadband in such a way that grants the FCC the authority to regulate the internet. In other words, the FCC cannot regulate the internet without authority from Congress, which it does not have. So no, they cannot regulate the internet at this point. But instead of coming to Congress and asking for it, the FCC lowered up and attempted to bend the rules to its liking. Lastly, he stated that as a member of the Appropriations Committee, he opposes to spend our tax dollars on legal misadventures of the FCC. The courts have spoken, and their conclusion is that the FCC does not have the authority to do what it's trying to do. Until the authority is granted by Congress, it has no business using tax dollars for its power grab. Whether or not governments, for example, like the U.S. government, are able to shut down or regulate the internet, the answer is no. Not only does President like Obama or any other presidents not have access to like literally shut down or regulate the internet, it never has had control over ISPs. The first claim that the affirmative says is that currently with net neutrality, it's not fair that certain groups of people face tiered internet service. But we must be careful not to impose regulatory restrictions that would limit the ability of the marketplace. The downside to new rules, for example, it wouldn't let carriers manage their networks to block or slow down traffic for any reason. Carriers already essentially practice those values without regulation, except in cases where there's such traffic overloads, like if you're trying to get, watch a video, it's obviously going to take more time for you to more energy. But my affirmative and believers claim that net neutrality want consumers to have unlimited access to the information service no matter what the impact on the network traffic will be. So providing that kind of connectivity everywhere is going to cost the greatest good time, and it will lead to complications and denial of service. It's also going to minimize the carrier's ability to make a decent profit, so it can continue to upgrade its networks and employ technical workers. In other words, it's going to hinder innovation. We are in a free market, which we have had now with the internet and wireless business, which has been growing just fine by itself. So why would we tamper with success? Regulations don't make sense. The affirmative seems to be in favor of regulating the internet, and that would cost us to pay more tax money for products and services that we want. Where is the benefit of this? Why should we pay for things that we already have? As a result, companies will have to adopt what is being called usage-based pricing, which means you will have to pay for the data you use, no more flat rate pricing. So if you use like a lot of internet, you're going to be paying more than what you already are paying now, because right now you pay for certain speeds, and it's been something that it's a free market. With net neutrality is an example of FCC's power to hurt us with this decision, since communications affect us as today. We should all be concerned with what FCC does. In other words, I can put an example. Like, let's say Cal Poly started saying everyone who has a parking permit will be assigned a certain space. So with everyone being assigned, the Cal Poly would have to check every parking space to make sure that every person that has paid for their service, that no one else is taking over, right? I mean, that's going to cost us a lot of money just to have people come in and be checking all the time. It's just a waste of money. There is nothing neutral about net neutrality. Net neutrality would just create hostility and would hinder and work against the success of the internet, preventing future progression. It would cause large disadvantages, for example, hinder innovation and raise prices for consumers. Let me just leave you with this. Should the internet remain a highway of freedom and free expression, or become a command and control toll road that hinders competition and innovation?